Hey, hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We are going live because we have to talk about this reality, this new reality that we are living in. Y'all, if y'all are not subscribed to this channel, y'all be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. I am wanting to be more consistent and see you guys more, spend more time with you all. So help me out by liking the stream and subscribing to the channel, commenting, all that, because yeah, we got a whole summer together and I am trying to spend as much time of as I can with you all. So yeah, so y'all know my girl Cheri Dani from the other night is coming back through today. She should be here. Well, I'm late, so she probably come anytime. Oops, because I'm late. Okay, as usual. But I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, so we have this case of Mr. I don't even want to call him Mr., but this dude, Jeremy Brown is his name. And ironically, let me tell y'all how ironic this is. Ironically, about a month ago, a guy named Jeremy Brown got killed in unalived, okay? Because I'm trying to protect my channel. Y'all know that I'm new. I ain't been doing right. So I got to learn the YouTube lingo. But he was unalived. A guy named Jeremy Brown was unalived in Mississippi by his wife in front of their children about maybe 2 months ago. So it's very ironic to have another Jeremy Brown in the news being unalived by a woman. Now, I don't know the specifics of the previous case I mentioned. I just thought that it was ironic that we have two Jeremy Browns unalive like this so close together. But when we talk about this Jeremy Brown, I know that y'all have seen this the video so many times. I'm gonna show the video just because of how egregious this video was, um how egregious this whole scene was. Okay, one thing that is really surprising me is that so many black men are moving through this world, this life, as if they don't have any consequences. And now, my girl said that she wanted me to go ahead and get my thoughts out first. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them out real quick. Number one, I'm surprised at how black men are moving through this lifetime. Let me tell you, if no one has told you, black men, before, if no one has told you, you are not a victim. You are not a victim. Nobody feels sorry for you. And the reason why you are not a victim and people don't feel sorry for you is because when you dig deeper, when you get behind the scenes, you see everything, you see so many things that you did to bring the to cause things to play out the way that they did. Now, this whole situation was unfortunate, but to be honest, I don't feel sorry for him. And for so many people that I've been hearing online, you all want to make a perpetrator into a victim, and he's not a victim. He is not a victim. Let's take a look at him right here. Look how irate. I know we've heard the video. We have seen the clips. We know all about what's going on. But I just want you to take a look at this picture that I have on my screen. This man is irate. Look at his fingers. Look at his fingers. So tense and angry. Look at his fist all balled up. Look at his lips. Look at his eyes. And see, what I want to know from the men in the community, from the men online, from all these black men wanting to sit here and make excuses like we talked about on our last stream. And ironic, our last stream was dealing with violent crimes against black women in Chicago. And here we have a a current case coming out of Chicago about a violent crime against a woman. But I want to know from the men in our community who sit here and make all of these excuses for their brothers. I want to know which one of you are accountable for this man. Who's accountable for him? Where are his where is his father? Where are his uncles, his cousins, his brothers, his friends, his grandfathers, his pastors, his teachers, his mentors, his coaches? Where are any of those? Where are those men? Where have they been? And how did they allow this man to turn into the monster that he is at 32 years old today? The one that we all got to deal with. The one that we all um um have to be careful and tread lightly around. The ones that we have to worry about our safety in the public. The ones that are in Chicago committing those egregious assaults against women. From the video, y'all go check out that last video. It's kind of long, fast forward it. But the statistics show that about 25% of all violent crime that takes place in Chicago is against Black women. And we uncovered that the majority of that crime is perpetuated by Black men. And we have a Black man right here on the screen that is that has perpetuated that violent crime in Chicago. And y'all got the nerve to sit online and try to make him a victim. He is not a victim. Hey, she, thank you so much for coming. Hold on once, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. 1 second. Hello? Hey, baby. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Y'all, my family has found me out. My goodness. I don't be cussing, okay, family? So y'all just let me talk about things that I consider to be important in the community, okay, family? This is what I consider to be important. Anyway, look at this. So we went over the statistics of the violent crime in Chicago. We understand who is primarily being perpetuated by. We have a recent case about violent crime coming out of Chicago, and y'all want to sit around and make him a victim. How? How is he a victim? Because he's the one who died? That doesn't make him a victim. The victim would be the people that he hurt, the people that he attacked, the people that was minding their business, the people that was trying to go and get some chicken or hot links or whatever they said they was trying to get up in this restaurant. Those are the victims. And we would do a great service to ourselves to to stop painting Black men who y'all taunt yourselves as the strongest men out of all of the races, the biggest, and all of that type of stuff. But as soon as you get an opportunity to victimize yourself, that's what you do, even though you were the perpetuator. Hey, Third Ward. You don't feel sorry for what happened to that man? That son did what he was supposed to do to protect his mother from getting attacked by a man. Yes. But now, third, what about the women who don't have a son to run out from the car and to rescue her? What about the women who don't have that? Who have to keep watching their back from all these assaults and robberies and shootings and everything that's going on in every city in the country? But we were primarily talking about Chicago last week. But anyway, my girl Sharice supposed to be coming in. Hopefully she come in a few. Y'all know I'll be busy, so I'm gonna get through my talking points. If she don't come in, I'll come back and see y'all again later on tonight or tomorrow. But one thing that stood out for me in this whole thing is I remember when Kevin Samuels, Yall's daddy, Yall's daddy, okay? Yall's daddy, about 2 years ago, created a message saying that sometimes the best option is to slap a woman. And I raised a big fuss about it then, and I'm gonna raise a big fuss about it now. Do not think that you can go around this world, this country, slapping Black women because you don't like what they're saying. And see, the issue with Kevin is Kevin said that a Black woman should be slapped because of what she said. Not because she had hit him first, not because she had taken something that belonged to him, not because she had done anything to him. The only thing she did was say something that he didn't like, and Kevin thought that was grounds to slap a woman. He thought that sometimes that was the best thing to do, was to slap a woman. Hey, Raining, thank you so much for coming back to see me again, girl. You see, I'm trying to be consistent, trying to get right. Okay, thank you so much for coming back to see me. So I don't know. Y'all seen the video so many times. Do y'all want to go through the video one more time, or do y'all want me to highlight the ironic statements from Kevin Samuels as it relates to slapping women, and how we have just found out that that ain't a good choice to make? Y'all let me know which one y'all want to go with. Girl, okay. And see, you know what, Raymond? Anybody, I'm sorry, I don't want to say it like this, but any man who thinks that he's going to be able to go around and slap women, hit women, punch women in the face because we are speaking and you don't like it, y'all got another thing coming. Now, look, y'all got another thing coming. I don't know what Kevin was thinking by hyping y'all up and amping y'all up, putting a battery in y'all back, making y'all think that because he was crazy and didn't value his life, that he should set y'all up to get your lives put in jeopardy. Hey, weird flex, but okay. Yes, please like the video. Thank you so much. So listen, first, before, you know what? Let me go all the way back. I'm gonna go back to
On that.
statement that
Yeah,
Kevin
I'm gonna use it a couple of ways.
all right. To the statements that Kevin made. What Kevin said was that there was this guy. I didn't pull the clips, but if y'all want me to, I will. Sean Connery, way back in the way back, because for some odd reason, back when the pandemic started, we was listening to an old man, okay, who ain't never had nothing and didn't have nothing when he passed away, who ain't never done right by no women or no children. For some reason, we were listening to him and taking his advice during the pandemic. So I want to kind of go back to exactly what he said, but Sean Connery, he used Sean Connery as an example. And he also used Scheherazade Ali as an example. And one thing I want to point out between both of those people that he used as an example is that the example was based solely on a woman saying something that he didn't like. So with Sean Connery's example was that women argue and they don't let things go, and sometimes it's the best option to slap women. That's what Sean Connery said. Kevin said that he agreed with what Sean Connery was saying, because he said that women do not experience a low-level threat of violence the same way men do. So what he was saying is that when men disrespect other men, men know that they have to see that man, that you're going to have to suffer the consequences of that. But women can get away with disrespecting men and because we don't have to worry about suffering any consequences. That's what Kevin was saying 2 years ago. So what he was saying to the men is that, hey, don't worry about you know, focus on treating a woman the same way that you would treat a man. There's a low level threat of violence when a man disrespects you. Guess what? This new thing we got going on, there's a low level threat of violence when a woman disrespects you too. If a woman disrespects you, go ahead and slap her, because that's the same thing that you would do with a man. And you know what? Sometimes that's the best option. Now, when we go back to what Scheherazade Ali was saying, this was back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, they was trying to make it permitted to abuse women, black women, for having an opinion and for saying something or speaking our mind. Scheherazade Ali also felt that the black woman's mouth was too seasoned, you know, and sometimes you just need to slap her in the mouth, pop her in the mouth. That's what Scheherazade Ali said. So when Kevin used the example of both Sean Connery and Scheherazade Ali, he knew that he was telling y'all to slap women when they say things that you don't like, not for any other reason. Let that be the first reason. She says something you don't like, she deserves to be slapped. I don't really want to play the whole thing because
it's entitled to something I heard earlier.
It's kind of long and we went over
If
this already.
We can't hold anybody accountable.
Fast forward it a little bit.
Accountable. Let me leave that sitting right.
Wait, let's see.
A whooping by Mr. Brown. If Mr. Brown, you saw you doing something wrong because you were accountable to the community, not just your mama and daddy. Let me leave that sitting right there. The women today don't fear what Sean Connery told Barbara Walters. There are times when the best course of action is to slap a woman. That's what Sean Connery said. It's still on YouTube right now. Go look at it. And Barbara Walters was like, thought he was going to recant his statement, and he doubled down. And he said, let me explain what I mean. He's like, women have a way of not knowing how to let things go. You can give up the argument. You can let it go. They can know they've won. There's nothing else to be gained, and they will continue to push and push and push. And he said, at that point, once you've exhausted all other options, then a slap becomes a good option. And you only have to do it once.
Oh, wait, let me say Scheherazade Ali out here. Hold on.
Ranges that women feel that it's okay to disrespect.
Yeah. Anyway, he just mentioned that Scheherazade Ali said the same thing. Now, let me see. So for the video that we had for this young man, this I don't know, I feel like he was clearly deranged. Okay. Obviously heard something that he didn't like and felt like he had the power and the authority to slap this woman, to punch this woman. But let me go back to Kevin for 1 second, because Kevin knew that what he was telling the men to do was a crime. Kevin knew that what he was telling the men to do was a crime. Think back to when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. I never made this video, but I pulled the clips and I still had the clips, so I'm gonna use them for today. Let's see. Let's see what this one says.
There is nothing that you can say that would justify what Will Smith did or the reason behind it.
So he's saying that there's nothing that would justify Will Smith slapping Chris Rock or the reason behind it. So the fact that Chris Rock said something about Jada or his wife that he didn't like, that was no justification from what Kevin was saying to slap him. But if you say something that Kevin doesn't like, or a man doesn't like, then Kevin has given you this internet permission, this internet authority to go around slapping women. Okay, let me go to the next one.
A sickness.
You asked me if I was Will Smith. You're asking me if I was Will Smith.
Okay, now here, right here, Kevin is gonna say what he would do if he was Will Smith. If he was in Will Smith's situation, what he would do. Let's see what Kevin would do. Because since Kevin feels that it's okay to slap women for saying things that he doesn't like, let's see if Kevin would have slapped another man for saying something that he didn't like.
Will Smith, what would I have done?
A sickness.
You're asking me if I was Will Smith. You're asking me if I was Will Smith, what would I have done?
I was trying to give my.
Well, you've already. I mean, it's either one or the other, and we don't need the mom. We got another show. If I was Will Smith, what I would have done?
If you were Kevin, what would you have done?
Man, I would have let it ride.
Oh.
I would have let it ride because I'm Will motherfucking Smith. You're Jada Pinkett Smith. You got alopecia. He said G.I. Jane.
So for Kevin, for when Kevin is faced with another man being disrespectful, saying disrespectful things, talking about someone that he loves, he would let it ride. But if you, with your opinionated black mouth, have something to say, you deserve to be slapped. But when it comes to another man, he's going to let it ride. He's going to talk it out. If you all go back to the stream, I can get you the date for it. If you all go back to the stream, then you will see that Kevin even said that he would talk to Chris Rock and find out if Chris Rock knew that Jada had alopecia and that it's a hurtful situation for her, and that him making her the butt of the jokes really hurt her feelings. He would go back and explain these things to Chris Rock. But when it comes time to talk to you or explain things to you or communicate with you, the first thing he thinks to do in light of you're saying something that he doesn't like is to slap you. I thought there was a low-level threat of violence between men. If there is an unstated low-level threat of violence between men, then in that situation, the person should have expected to be slapped. They should have expected to be slapped. Because why? Because men know that when they disrespect each other, then they gotta fight it out. And since men know that, then women should also expect the same thing, correct? That's what he wants us to believe. But in reality, Kevin wanted to go and talk to Chris Rock and make sure he understood how hurtful his words were. He didn't have it in his mind to go and slap nobody like he would have slapped you. Let's keep going.
And you can only take so much.
Well,
on this journey.
But ma'am, we're roughly the same age. And what you didn't say is what we both know.
What's that?
The line is when you decide to put your hands on somebody.
Oh, well, yeah.
But no, but you're saying that now, but you can't say that and then saying slapping is acceptable.
So slapping is acceptable when it's against you. When it's a woman, then slapping is acceptable. Sure, guys, go ahead. Slap this woman. Because Sean Connery said that sometimes it's the best option. Because Shahrazad Ali said that these black women's mouths is out of control. So when she get to acting up, slap her. But at the same time, Kevin understands, he knows that the line is drawn when you put your hands on somebody else. When you put your hands on somebody else, everything changes. Kevin knows this, but he didn't tell his little baby kittens that. He charged his baby kittens up so that they could go around putting their hands on you for saying things that they didn't like.
This is where we don't. We live in a country and a society of laws where we sit down as a populace and determine right, wrong. And we have sat down in society and said, when you decide to put your hands on somebody else, your rights stop where mine start. When you do that, we've decided that's against the law. Therefore, all that we are human beings stuff stops. Because we can apply that to anything. You got a house, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in a bad way. I'm going through a lot of shit. It's hard out here for a pimp. Well, no, ma'am. This is
That's it. Kevin clearly understood that when it came to another man, that there was legal protection against one putting their hands on the other. But when it came to you, he didn't mention that legal protection. And he didn't get his baby kitten followers
It's 8 o'clock.
to consider the legal protection either. What he encouraged them to do was to stand up for yourself, not let women run over you. Don't be a simp. And if she say something that you don't like, slap her in the mouth. That's what he said. Let's see what this one is.
to make very common, clear sense. But when we put it as slap versus disrespect, that's gray. Come on, man. It's against the law.
So he knew it was against the law and actively encouraged you to break the law and maybe even be sent home to your maker. Because a woman like Miss Hood is not finna play games with you. And I'll get to her in 1 second. Hold on.
Nothing. There is nothing that you can say that would justify what Will Smith did or the reason behind it. Nothing.
And this is my last one right here for Kevin.
Or the reason behind it. Nothing.
Okay, that's just a repeat. Okay. Now, let's take a look and go into, let's take a look for a second and go into this video. First off, let me show y'all this picture that I have right here. Hold on. I got my little baby partner with me, okay? Let me see. Okay, baby, mommy, sorry. Yeah. Let's take a look at this picture right here. Now, this picture is right here in the heat of the moment. Take a look at Miss Hood. I want us to first focus on Miss Hood. Take a look at her. Miss Hood is standing here. She is not looking this man in the eye. She's not challenging him. You know how some guys and their egos can feel challenged if you look them in the eye or you frowning up in their face or something like that. She ain't looking at him. She's holding her phone. It looks like she's trying to explain something. She does not look upset. Her fingers aren't clenched tight. She doesn't look aggressive or confrontational or combative or anything. If you watch the video, you can hear her trying to explain herself or ask questions or something. But this man is so irate. Let's take a look at him. Look at his posture. Look at his hands. And see, one thing we know is that that blue black shadow at the bottom of this picture is actually an older black man. And it appears to me that Jeremy is looking at the older black man. Another reason why I'm shocked that nobody stood up and said, hey, man, you taking it a little too far. Take it easy. Calm down. Oh, you doing too much. Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. And if that lady didn't have a son to call, she would have been laid out there on that floor in that restaurant in front of everybody, including that old man that could have at least said something to Jeremy. All right. Now, so I'm done with the Kevin piece. I just want y'all to know that that Kevin definitely promoted violence and encouraged you all to take a gamble on meeting your own maker by thinking that you can slap somebody for saying something that you don't like. Now, when we talk about this Jeremy character, the reality is that he has a violent record. That's what he has. I know that whenever something happens in the media, we always jump to defend the Black man because we don't want nobody bullying him and ganging up on him. And of course, he's the victim. But in this particular case right here, this man had been going around cutting up, being domestically violent against so many people. Okay, let's take a look at this right here.
His mom in ways that nobody else saw fit to do. Shout out to the 14-year-old who did the Lord's work in protecting his mom in ways that nobody else saw fit to do. Everybody knew this man was a monster. Apparently, he been terrorizing motherfuckers for a long time all around. I'm scrolling on Facebook and I see from Yasmin, Mimi Richie, to Kia Carter. Don't comment on my shit how you feel, and I'm going to feel how I feel. A million people talking about Jeremy Brown death, but not you going so hard over him and the way he used to turn you every which way. Didn't he just set your shit on fire? If you can't handle national news, log the fuck off. You of all people better not play with me. This nigga used to beat you like a Hebrew slave. Then she goes on to post the fucking footage from the burned down house. Look at this footage, child. Now, whose house is this? This motherfucker done burned down like this. Who is gonna tolerate this type of behavior from a grown-ass man throwing hissy fits like this? He thought that he was gonna do this all on Carlisha Brown. The real question is, why wasn't this man incarcerated for shit like this before? This is why motherfuckers don't need to be walking the goddamn streets. You go in a restaurant, how weird is it that you go in a restaurant and you just turn up on a bitch for nothing over a goddamn hot link and a Polish child? How mentally fragile do you have to be hungry one minute and then going upside a bitch head the next minute? Yeah, he definitely needed to go. Shout out to the 14-year-old who did the Lord's work in protecting his mom in ways that nobody else saw fit to do. Everybody knew this man was a mom.
Now, from what I understand, there are a few other streams going on that are extensively going into Jeremy's background. I know Paris Milan is doing one now, and I will share her video to my community tab so that y'all can check it out. I don't know where Miss Dani is. But yeah, that's what I have. And then let's see, one more thing I want to show y'all. I wanted to go into the video. Let's see if we can get. Hold on, baby. I want to go into the video because one thing, the news report, one thing that is very important as a woman, knowing that you don't have a lot of protection and knowing that men feel that they have liberty to hit you for saying something that they don't like is, oh, I'm sorry, baby, is you got to be careful for the male identified women. Oh, you don't know what a male identified woman is? Oh, they call those pygmies. Yeah, they call those pygmies. Let me see. Let me see if I can get back to this video real quick because, see, in this Jeremy thing, they actually had a pygmy in the video. Let me see if I can get this going. Uh-oh, baby.
From a juvenile detention facility. Carlisha Hood walked free from the Cook County Jail and shared this emotional hug with family. The reunion comes hours after murder charges against Hood and her 14-year-old son were dropped.
If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
The charges stem from the fatal shooting of Jeremy Brown inside the Maxwell Street Express in the West Holman neighborhood. Video posted to social media shows Hood arguing with Brown inside the restaurant. Prosecutors say that's Brown in the white shirt. Hood then began texting her 14-year-old son, who was waiting outside in the car. Surveillance video shows the teen enter the restaurant and witness Brown hit his mom at least 3 times in the head and face. Prosecutors say that's when the 14-year-old pulled out a gun and shot Brown in the back. Both Hood and her son initially faced murder charges, and she was being held on a $3 million bond. Today, those charges were dropped by the Cook County State's Attorney's Office.
You have the right to use deadly force to stop that force against another person. And that's exactly what happened in this case. And that's exactly why the state's attorney's office dropped this case today.
Now, Hood declined to comment shortly after she was released from jail, but her family and her attorney tell me they are relieved that she is home.
Now, you couldn't really hear the one pick me in the back of the Jeremy video. But when he started hitting the woman in her face, the only other woman, I believe the only other woman in that place, she didn't say, "Stop, Jeremy, leave that woman alone." Nobody said that. But his woman, I read that it was his girlfriend. The woman never said, "Stop, Jeremy, leave that woman alone. Don't mess with her." All of this stuff. She ain't say nothing. That woman said, "He told you. He told you." What that woman was saying is, he told you he was going to hit you. He told you he was going to punch you. This the same man that has the domestic violence record, the same man that we just found out burned somebody's house down, okay? But I want to just highlight. I'm trying to get my girl Cheri up in here, but I don't see her in the back. Cheri, try to come again if you can. Try to come again if you can. This is it. I want y'all to see.
You used to get a whooping by Mr. Brown.
Before Cheri come on here, I want y'all to see what a male identified woman, a quote unquote pick me, how she looks when a man is threatening your very existence in her face, okay? When he is threatening violence against you in your face, this is what male identified women, aka pick me's, stand on the sidelines doing. All right. Let me get to it. I gotta get to it. Okay. Let me see. Am I here? Wait.
When the best course of action
Now,
sitting right there.
there are 2 women.
The women don't.
One of them is a pygmy and one of them not. Okay. Now, the pygmy is at the top. Okay. Now, when Kevin started talking about slapping you in your mouth for saying something that he didn't like, let's take a look at the face of a woman that is what I consider to be male identified.
Today, don't fear what Sean Connery told Barbara Walters. There are times when the best course of action is to slap a woman. That's what Sean Connery said. It's still on YouTube right now. Go look at it.
What you just saw there was a nod and affirmation. Yeah. That's the best course of action. Slap her. That's the best course of action. I'm nodding my head in agreement right here.
And Barbara Walters was like, thought he was going to recant his statement, and he doubled down. He said,
did the male identified think it's a little funny? Just like the one in the restaurant talking about something he told you? Huh? Oh, you think you gonna hang with her and be safe? What? Let's keep going.
Explain what I mean. He's like, women have a way of not knowing how to let things go. You can give up the argument. You can let it go. They can know they've won. There's nothing else to be gained, and they will continue to push and push and push. And he said, at that point, once you've exhausted all other options, then a slap becomes a good option. And you only have to do it once. Shahrazad.
Maybe so. Look, slap him. Maybe she'll like it. maybe she'll like it. Because I'm sitting here as a representative for women on a panel mainly comprised of men. And when a man is talking about slapping a woman for something that she said that he didn't like, I'm going to smile and nod about it. Okay? I'm going to smile and nod about it. Because for some odd reason, I think that that's the best course of action. Now, my baby is a little fussy tonight. I don't see my girl Cheri. I think I might go ahead and jump up off of here. I'm gonna go out and come back in. Okay, girl. I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna hold for you for 1 second. My baby is a little fussy now. Now, there was another video that I created. It was a short. Y'all should go and check it out. Men are going to have to deal with the reality that they created through Kevin Samuels. Y'all think women are going to sit here and play games with y'all when for the past 2 or 3 years, we have heard everything y'all think and how y'all really feel about Black women? We're not even talking about other race of women. We're talking about Black women. And all of the stuff that y'all been saying about Black women for 2.5 years online. If y'all think that y'all about to come out here in this hot girl summer and cut up and ain't nobody gonna see you about it, oh, it's gonna be an issue. Because I can promise you, there are way more non-male identified women. There are way more women that have centered themselves and de-centered men than women out here that's just gonna be happy and smiling at the thought of you going upside her head. All right. I don't know why the guys in these online spaces think that they are doing the majority of men a service by encouraging them to be mean and violent and disrespectful against women, because ultimately you all are going to have to live in this world that you are creating, and we won't be forgetting about it. We won't be forgetting about it. Anybody want to add anything? Want to come up? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Let me see. Hold on once. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I'm gonna drop the link just in case somebody want to come up. Oh, y'all know what? I'm so sorry. I was off the comments. I was doing other stuff, trying to get the hang of things. So let me see what y'all been saying. I can't get to him. Okay, well, I can only get to Miss Sway. That man had no right doing what he done, period. Period. Let me use my famous voice, period. Okay. Wow, she doesn't. And that's the thing, Raining. She didn't look threatening. And imagine how many others. See, I was hoping that my girl Cheri could come up here because, yes, thank you, Raining. I was hoping that my girl Cheri could come up here because she thought about a very different perspective. And that's about women who are enduring domestic violence right now. Do you think all of these women that are being beaten and all of this type of stuff are threatening these men? No, these men have just been given permission from other men and men in the community who make them into like little victimized babies that they can do no wrong. They are always looking for a way to get by with something. You know, last week they wanted to convince us that it was okay for a man to come up to you and kiss you in your mouth, rub all over your body, just because he wanted to, and just because you might be a little freaky or say some things that you shouldn't say. They convinced us last week that was okay. Now here we go, another situation where they want to convince us that it's okay to let somebody slap on you because you're saying something that they don't like. Hello? Girl, I don't know. Check your inbox. Putting hands on that lady was foul. Yep. I'm gonna stay on the phone with you for 1 second. And you know what, Miss Shay? I really do believe that he was somewhat mentally disturbed. But then again, not really. Because see, a lot of these men use being mentally disturbed as an excuse to cut up. They use being mentally disturbed as an excuse to cut up, but they be in their right mind to do everything else that they want to do. But all of a sudden, when you expect them to act with some tact and some class, then all of a sudden they mentally disturbed. Girl, I'm finna go because my baby is cutting up. Okay, I'm finna go. I'll call you back. My baby cutting up, y'all. So I'm finna go. Let me see. She nodded up. All right. Thank you so much, Raina. Y'all, my baby, y'all see. They'll never want me to be great. Bye, y'all. I'll see y'all again soon.